did have another game, the NFC title game.
We did.
As well. And this game at one point looked fantastic for the Lions. They came out to an early lead, 24-7 at halftime. And we were at Shoppers. We were at the official Lions bar of Manchester, New Hampshire, turning that bar into a Lions bar slowly but surely.
Of New England, potentially.
Of New England. We did have some Michigan natives there who were from Detroit, and they were raving and yelling and screaming.
Buying the bar shots.
Buying the bar shots, buying us shots specifically.
Yeah.
And at one point in this game, we're like, Lions and Chiefs. This is what America wants. This is what America needs. Lions, Super Bowl. And then the third quarter happened. And this is where that same old Lions mentality kicked in. And this was unfortunate because this is a team that had 30 minutes before the Super Bowl to book their first Super Bowl appearance ever. And, Jared Goff's playing well. Jahmyr Gibbs was playing great. Amon-Ra's making big plays. Sam Laporta could not be stopped. And then second half, what went wrong for the Lions?
Yeah, it's a combination of a lot of things. So you have the Jahmyr Gibbs turnover, which is one thing. And then you have two questionable calls from Dan Campbell. And Dan Campbell's gotten a lot of grief here, but it's kind of the maturation of the extended analytics department of the NFL, where we've seen coaches like John Harbaugh, we've seen Brandon Staley, Doug Peterson, who are some of the most notable coaches, really embrace analytics. And it comes down to the mentality of Dan Campbell, where he's like, I'm going to be ultra aggressive and I'm going to try and do what I want to do. And that's going to be put my team in the best position to win. And simply, it just did not happen in their case, where you have a pass where Josh Reynolds probably should have caught that. And I feel like that went through his hands. So with that call, it's like, okay, that's a fourth down you could have gotten, but to put yourself down 2 possessions, I feel like you should have just kicked the field goal on the second try there, because it's not something where let's be aggressive and go get the touchdown, because I don't think it would have made that much of a difference. It's just in a playoff game of this magnitude, you can't go out there and leave points on the board. However, to play devil's advocate, say they go out there and convert both of those fourth downs, everyone would be talking about how stoic Dan Campbell is, how much faith he has in his offense, and they'd be talking about how he turned around Detroit and then how that led to them getting to the Super Bowl and how that led to them being this team that kind of turned it all the way around from where this is a team that Vegas had at 9.5 wins coming into this season. This is a team that was bottom of the NFC in likelihood to make it to the Super Bowl. They are ahead of the likes of the Packers and the Buccaneers. The Cowboys were number 2 when they were completely robbed in Dallas. San Francisco rightfully at 1, but a lot of people were still doubting the Detroit Lions, and they really weren't supposed to be in this game. So the fact that that much momentum swung that fast, I felt like just a gut punch to the Detroit Lions, and then their defense just could not do anything to stop them. Brock Purdy, I mean, did anyone know he could run this well and turn into prime Russell Wilson, at least the way he could scramble? I don't think a lot of people saw that coming. So Brock Purdy went out there, did his thing. So credit to him to proving all of the critics wrong who disparaged him all year long. But I think if the Lions picked up those 2 fourth down conversions, we're having a very different conversation. And it's just how it goes. It's like, okay, if you miss it, the media is going to trash you. Okay, but this is who Detroit is, and this is what they've done all season long. And Jared Goff, simply, he was playing pretty good, and they just didn't have anyone open on that play. Maybe it's a better play call you could have had, but Jared Goff really didn't have too many throws that were head-scratching in this game. So I thought, if you want to go for it, this is who you are, and this is what got you here, and this is what gave you your first 2 playoff wins since the 1950s.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that you're right as far as like how the media would have changed that narrative had he converted, because that kind of is how it plays with Dan Campbell. He was hyper aggressive. He was hyper aggressive before this season, and that's just been the identity of the Lions and how they've been: grit, determination, and hyper aggressive. And sometimes it doesn't pay off. We saw how it didn't pay off in the Ravens game. We saw how it didn't pan out in some of the losses that they had this season. This game, with the magnitude of this game, with how much momentum was swinging towards San Francisco, with some of these plays that happened, with Josh Reynolds dropping not 1 but 2 pivotal plays in this game, I think that the field goal was necessary. at certain points just to heed the momentum just a little bit because it felt like the Niners on the second half was just getting everything they wanted. Christian McCaffrey started going. Brock Purdy made some great plays. And I think Brock Purdy deserves a lot of credit for them coming back in this game.